and welcome to my channel. Whether it's your first time or you're returning, I just want to thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with me today. So today I just wanted to stop and do a really quick review about the new fragrance from Lattafa, and it's called Yara Candy. Now, I didn't realize that Yara is like a line of fragrances. There's an original Yara, but I guess the other ones can maybe be considered flankers. But I just thought it was, Lattafa Yara, Lattafa Tus, Lattafa Afnan, Lattafa Moy. But apparently they're all Yara, but just like different versions of Yara or flankers, as it's called in the perfume world. So anyway, they just dropped a Lattafa Yara Candy. And so, of course, Kayali, just like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, dropped the Kayali Vanilla Rock Candy Sugar, Candy Rock Sugar, Vanilla Sugar on a Rock. I always get the words messed up in terms of like the order that they come in, but you know what I'm talking about. And so in my mind, this Lattafa Yara was supposed to be a dupe for the, or inspired by the Kayali Rock Candy Sugar. And so that's what I was expecting. I have Rock Candy Sugar. I have it in a decant, in a sample. I also smelled it in the store. And so I know what it smells like. And when I got the Yara, I was like, okay, yeah, nope, this isn't it. So anyway, so I'll go ahead and get started here. So the Yara Candy has top notes of black currant and green tangerine, with strawberry fizz, candy, and gardenia in the middle notes. And then the base notes of vanilla, amber, musk, and sandalwood. And so when I thought, oh, this is supposed to be a dupe for the Kayali Rock Candy Sugar, and when it didn't quite smell like it, I went and I looked at the notes for Lattafa. I went and looked at the notes for Kayali. And the top notes are vanilla, pear, marshmallow, rum, violet leaves, and ylang ylang. So not even close. The middle notes are bubblegum, jelly bean, caramel, jasmine, and labdanum. I don't know how to pronounce that, but labdanum or whatever it's called. Again, not even close. And then the base notes are sugar, patchouli, tonka, cashmere wood, vetiver, and sandalwood. So the only notes that I can see here just off the rip that are even remotely similar is the base note of sandalwood. And sometimes you can like blend two notes together and it'll give you like the effect of another note. So just because the notes don't necessarily match doesn't mean that the scents aren't close to each other, but in this case, they're just not. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and try these. So we'll go ahead and do Lattafa on the left side, and then we'll do the Vanilla Rock Candy Sugar on the right side, just for comparison purposes. All right, so when I first spray Lattafa, one of the big things that I noticed when I first spray the Lattafa is how fruity it is. It's super sweet. And I'm not a person who's able to really distinguish fruits, like unless it's something like citrus, because citrus has a lot of zing. But I'm generally not able to pick out like, oh, those are plums. Oh, that's a fig note or something like that, unless it's like citrusy. But what I do smell is just lots and lots of fruit, like so much fruit, like a fruit basket. Whereas with the Vanilla Rock Candy, I get almost powdery, kind of a powdery sweetness. This one makes my mouth water a little bit. This one makes me feel a little sassy. So there's a little bit of a difference there. Now, when it comes to that middle note, again, what you will smell after about 20 or 30 minutes of it being on your skin, to me, they are still not similar, but they're starting to kind of edge a little closer to each other, because this stops being as fruity and you just get some sweetness. This also retains its powderiness, but also continues to be sweet. So then the dry down, the final dry down, is when I realized, oh, these aren't even near the same. I mean, it's sweet. They're both sweet, but that's pretty much where the similarities kind of that's where they stop. Um, so I was thinking about it and I was just like, but I've smelled this before. Like it's a nice scent. The Lattafa Yara Candy is a nice scent. It's not particularly that unique. Like I feel like I've smelled it before. And then when I started looking at Fragrantica and looking at some of the comments, it dawned on me. This Yara Candy, it smells almost identical to pink sugar to me, the Aquilina pink sugar. And that's to me, that's a really like super syrupy sweet fragrance. Pink sugar has a cult following. I tried it. I actually purchased it. And after about 3 or 4 tries, I was like, this isn't really for me. So, because it's just so sweet. And then besides that, it didn't really stick around much for me. So I would say that it's not nearly as close to vanilla rock candy sugar as it is to Aquilina's pink sugar. So right now, I've got this on pre-order, the Lattafa Yara Candy on pre-order. They shipped out, I believe, July the 29th, and it's running about $50. A lot of people were like, oh, why would I purchase a Lattafa fragrance for $50? And true enough, it's probably going to be on Amazon in like 6 months for $20. But what I've been noticing about some of the more popular, most anticipated Yara fragrances is that they don't ever really hit Amazon because they are sold out. So I would say if you're on the fence about it, get a decant. There are lots of places you can get a decant. People are hand decanting them. Mercari, I know, eBay, I know, where you can get a decant of it, maybe pay $10, $12, figure out if you like it, and then you can spring or not spring for the $50 full bottle of Lattafa Yara Candy. All of the bottles look alike. This one's pink. It's really cute pink. The regular Yara is like a very soft pink, and then the Tous is orange, and the Moi is white, Afnan's black. So it's these really heavy, they're plastic, but really heavy duty bottles, 3.4 milliliters, I believe. And again, around $50 directly from the Lattafa site. I'm okay with it. One thing I've noticed about a lot of my Middle Eastern fragrances, and other people say this as well, you kind of have to let them sit for a hot second and kind of mature and really deepen. I'm not the biggest fan of this now. If it was between the Yara Candy and the Kayali's sweet candy sugar rock, I would hands down would choose the Kayali version of it because it's not as sweet. And this one actually comes off in some ways a little medicinal. You know how you have like you have to give a small child like Tylenol and you can smell that it's grape, but it's like a medicinal grape sweetness. That's kind of what this reminds me of. And so I'm not the biggest fan of it. You don't get it as much in the dry down, but it's off-putting to me. It's off-putting. But who knows what it'll smell like 3, 4 months down the line when it gets to deepen. Maybe some of those alcohol properties evaporate and you just have that mature fragrance. Maybe then it'll be something that I can deal with and enjoy, not just deal with it, but also enjoy. So I'm not going to sell it just now, but my initial impression is like, okay, this was cool, but it wasn't like anything to write home about. So anyway, so tell me some of the things that you can't wait to see. Have you tried Yara Candy? What'd you think about it? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any comments, suggestions, or you just want to say hello, you know to do it below. But otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.